Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in this beautiful world. I am here today with a lady affectionately known in East Africa as Mama Judith. Say hello to the people,
Hello,
Mama.
everyone.
And we're just going to have a discussion today about the blessings and the pitfalls of traveling alone as a woman through Africa and I guess anywhere in the world, and what you can expect, what you may find. And Mama Judith is going to tell us her experience traveling alone and be an explorer in this beautiful world of ours.
Yes.
So, Mama Judith, we met in Tanzania.
Mhm.
Tell everybody how long lived in Tanzania.
I lived in Tanzania for almost 1 year. I left USA in January um, 2020 and stayed until 2021. I got there in January. I left in December 2000. Okay, let's say 21. I got there in 21. I left in 21. I stayed back in America for about 4 months
Mm,
before I'm back on the continent.
yeah. So tell us a little bit about your experience while you were in Tanzania. What did you love about it?
I love the blackness of it. Most of my profession I was working with other cultures, and so coming into Tanzania, just the sight of the billboards fascinated me. Going to the mall and seeing all of the advertisements that were in color,
Mm,
and the owners and the people working in most of the stores were of that color, and it was just like I made a video and I said I'm in Wakanda. So I really love being in Tanzania. I love the people. They are very nice people
mhm.
generally.
Yeah. So how did you find a community? Hold on, I'm gonna pause it for a second. So how did you find a community? How did you find the community in Tanzania?
I came straight from the airport to a nice hotel, and I was aware of some of the Israelites that were in Tanzania, so I called around and asked people who might know about a place I could stay, and they were giving me very good advice. And I just got to know that there were more Americans in Tanzania as I was there, and we did form a community. And initially, everything was very well. It was very loving. We had Sabbaths, and we had a good time. And I was just reorganizing myself in my own place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So would you say that your initial arrival, you know, how was your travel experience
Okay.
from the States to Tanzania
Okay, let's
in the
talk about
midst
the
of
airplane.
the pandemic, all that was going on? How was that?
Well, I had been planning to leave and come back to Africa, but I thought I had a little bit more time. But then they were talking about COVID, and at that time they didn't instill it, but they were talking about mandatory vaccination, and I didn't want to be vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay, it's time to go. And I heard about Magufuli. I chose Tanzania because of Magufuli.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was a great man. I know he was a great man, and I was just so torn apart.
Yeah, a little something. Mm-hmm.
And it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And but that's why I chose Tanzania
Mm-hmm.
because of that man, to be
Mm-hmm.
honest. And the travel, you asked me about the travel.
Yes.
Well, so I assumed that January would be cold.
Mm-hmm.
So when I planned and I'm coming in January, I'll be cool. It's Africa, it's hot, but January will be cold because that's what we know.
Mm-hmm.
And getting there and about to get out the airport, I've sold my house, remind you.
Mm-hmm.
I packed everything and I'm ready to go. And getting off that airport in Tanzania, I could not breathe. The summertime is in January. I said, oh my God, can I get back on that plane? But
So
I
you were
was,
ready to get back on the plane because it
oh
was too
yeah,
hot.
that's how hot it was in January.
Hmm.
Yeah. But I said, no, I'm going, I'm going. I'm with the odds. So
Hmm.
that's what gives me my energy
Hmm.
in times of trouble like that when I'm like, oh, what do I do now?
Your faith and your belief in the Most High is what gets you through it.
That's the only thing.
Hmm.
Uh, he
Yeah.
keeps me going.
So, how was your experience in Tanzania? I know that you worked with locals. You worked with the repads. Um, how did you find? Um, did you find people helpful, or the diaspora there for you? And knowing that you're an older woman traveling alone and in a foreign country, which can be scary, which can be difficult, has its challenges. What was your experience?
Initially, it was very, on the surface, it was very welcoming, and but it didn't have that real thing, that you need as far as, let's explain it this way. They were very welcoming and very caring in words. But a lot of the follow up, I was like, oh, I'm on my own on this, Well, I asked this, or I see this, or I asked about this, or which way. I felt like we didn't have much direction there,
Mm.
and everybody was kind of on their own.
When you say we didn't have much direction, are you talking about the community or the the governmental structure?
Both. I felt like the governmental structure was not supportive of us coming there,
Mm.
and I felt like our structure was not. We didn't have a leader. I don't know if
Mm.
you need a leader,
Mm.
but we didn't have somebody that said, "Okay, guys, we're going to go do this." We said,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, what?" We had a leader that might say, "Okay, get up and do something. What are you doing?" And no real direction.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Do you think that is because we kind of flooded the place without, like we weren't prepared and they weren't prepared? So there was like this flood and it caught everybody off guard. Do you think
that
that's it?
that could have had a lot to do with it because
Mm.
that's the response I had from most people. It's like it was an impromptu. It was like it was time to go. It was just time to go. And so yeah, that's I got that response a lot from people. So everybody, we were learning.
Hmm.
We didn't know Africa. We didn't know the language. So it was like the
A
wilderness.
little fish out of water kind
Yeah.
of scenario.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And tell me a bit about your experience working with the locals. I know that you had some challenges.
Yeah, I did have some challenges. The locals are very upfront and kind, but I feel that because that Africa has also been colonized, this is where I really learned
Hmm.
that we think we had it bad. We think we went through something in America, and we're running away from people killing us and doing anything to us. But when I got here, I realized that the locals, they even though they have all the natural things here, they haven't been given the opportunities to be business people, make the money. And so
Mm.
is this a need or some heightened need for just cash money? And I felt like they were always, no matter what you do, they seem nice and everything, but where's my money? Okay, I'll
Mm.
help you. Where's my money?
They
And
have
that
a hustle mentality.
a
A lot of
hustle.
them have a hustle mentality.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I
So,
would say.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it could rub you the wrong way,
Oh
and
yeah.
it could feel invasive,
Overwhelming.
overwhelming. That's a good word.
Because I had a very close friend there, I don't want to tell you his name, but he was very kind and very caring. I was moving around. I went to Dodoma.
Mm.
I came back to Dodoma. I didn't have a place to stay, but I was staying in a hotel.
Dodoma is a city in Tanzania.
Yes.
Hmm.
And I had met a very close friend, and we were talking. And he was a Tanzanian, and he could help me with language and different things. And he had started to help me a lot in Dodoma.
Hmm.
So I had called and told him where I was, and he didn't like that.
Hmm.
He said, "Oh no, Mama, I'm coming." And he came right away, and I was somewhere near the airport, and he helped me also to find me a place closer to where most of the expats lived.
Hmm.
And he was so kind, but he was always needing, you see?
Hmm.
And he did need, he had a
Hmm.
son, he had issues. That's what I mean.
The struggle is real,
Yeah,
on all sides. And then there's the assumption that because we come from the US, we have money. That could be true, or that could not be true. Because a lot
right.
of people came over with no money, with a hope and a prayer. But, we look glossy,
Oh, no.
But yeah, so that's been the experience of many people.
Yeah,
Like I
because
had.
I got robbed. I got, I had ended up having a very hard time with these Tanzanians. And I ran back into a burning house, AKA, I mean, America,
Hmm.
because I feel like being by myself, not really understanding the language, that I I begin to not trust the environment.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, that could happen, and you know, you may look like easy prey, you know, and I think some people came to the continent with misconceptions and wanting to help. So if someone said they need, you'd be willing to give, but there was never, there was no end to it. Like,
right.
I need this today, but I'm going to need something else tomorrow and the day after. So, in a lot of regards, you have to know how to put your foot down.
You
And
can't
it's okay
give.
to say no. It's okay to
You
say
really
no.
can't give. If you give, they're gonna come back for more.
Yeah.
Okay, you gave me that. How you doing? Can I help you with anything? And they come back, and it's a nonstop. And you wonder if it's genuine. Oh, I want to help you.
Hmm.
Now we're pulling that money.
Yeah. So, you have to be careful and
Yeah.
you have to make good decisions, and you can't help everybody
Yeah.
because when the well runs dry, who's going to help you?
Right.
You
And
know?
so Tanzania, for me, it's both types of people, but it was still better for me. Out of
Hmm.
all that trouble, it was better than America as far as when I went back home. You want me to tell you what happened?
Yes, please.
I was just deciding to walk to the store, and a lady met me. It was a bunch of ladies crying. I was like, I wonder what's wrong with them. And as I got closer and closer, they said, they killed him. They killed my cousin. They killed my cousin. So right when I got back into America, what I had seen before I left America, it was right in my face. And I finished walking to the store, and I had to pass a dead body.
What? This was in December? This was when you went back
When I
a
went
few
back,
months ago.
yeah,
That's what you walked right into.
right into it. I said, "Oh my God,
Yeah.
yeah."
That's the
So
difference.
it's not like that here.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
difference is the stress here might be, we're nickel and dime to death, you know. Yeah, people are always looking for a shortcut, but you don't see dead bodies. You don't hear about murders. You don't hear, if anything, there'll be a pickpocket. Some, there might have been a burglary somewhere, but nobody's looking to harm you. They
no,
might be looking for your stuff because they might think you have stuff. But as far as the violence,
yeah, no violence.
there's no violence. That's the difference. That's the difference. And the other stuff, there are workarounds. You can lock up your belongings. You can say no,
Right.
you know, to people nickel and diming you to death.
Yeah.
If
Make good
it's in you,
choices.
like I was a softie, but over the last year and a half, I've become hardened.
Yeah.
And that, I used to be mumble mouth where I didn't speak up, but now I speak up. Like, no, I don't have a problem saying, no, I'm not doing that. No, you can't have that, because otherwise I'm going to be a victim. And I travel too far to be victimized,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And if you don't do it, you don't want to appear weak in a foreign country alone.
Right. Yeah.
So it was a learning lesson.
Oh yes, it was a big learning
Yeah.
lesson.
And
Yeah.
that's good. Maybe that's the lesson. For me, maybe that's the lesson. Like, no, you don't have to speak up for yourself, because nobody's going to do that for you. And you'll just be, the little rag doll
And
being
don't be
pushed
so
around.
friendly. Yeah.
And don't be so friendly. You have to be selective,
Yeah.
especially, in a place where you don't really know a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you've
In
relocated.
contrast,
Yes, now you're in a new place. Tell us about it.
I have no complaints, and I trust Yah.
Well, nobody knows where you are.
And I came back to Africa, and I'm in Zambia, and I'm loving it every minute of it. Zambia's they have about 73 to 74 different languages, but their official language is English. So that takes the thread away of am I going to understand when I walk into the bank, when I go to the store? Do I need a Tanzanian or a Zambian to take me away and trust this person is going to give me the right information? That's gone. So, and these people here, they speak English and their language. Yeah.
Swahili, Bembe,
Kaunde.
Kawunde,
Yeah.
lots of languages,
Yeah.
but they speak fluent English.
So that's pleasant.
that's pleasant. That's
It's bad to
big-
say, I know Swahili is going to be our official African language, but
at some point.
at this point, diving in, I'm glad to have the little English for
You
understanding.
can
If you could
communicate.
say it, yeah.
That's everything. If you can't communicate, you're at a disadvantage.
Yes.
Right. And also in Zambia, which is different than Tanzania, they don't have a local price and a foreigner price. Here, it's just one price. Everybody pays the same price. So that's definitely a big difference.
And before I hit the ground, I already had a team here waiting for me. That was so good. They had even prepared a home for me, but I didn't send the cash because now I'm worried about where I'm sending my cash. And so when I got to the airport, I'm like, how are they going to find me? There was a group of people sitting there calling my name, and they picked me up from the airport. Zambia and Tanzania is right now. The experience is very different,
World apart.
worlds apart.
And the temperature is cooler here. You see the trees blowing in the background. It's very, very mild. It doesn't get as hot as Tanzania. Well, Dar es Salaam. Dar es Salaam is a city, so there are parts of Tanzania that are cooler than Dar es Salaam. But here, the temperature is very mild. You're not just walking around sweating, which, for me is a big deal because I'd be walking around and I'm the only one sweating. I'm like, okay, no one else feels it? Are you serious? I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Going into Tanzania, I was very hot, couldn't hardly breathe because I have a sinus condition. But coming here, I've been fine. And one evening, they asked me if I was hot. They said, it's very hot. And I said, this is hot. If this is hot, okay,
I'll
I
be
can make
okay.
it. I can
Yeah.
make it.
So, what did you do when you were in the States?
I went back and I had,
No, I meant for a living before you retired.
I was
What was your
a,
profession?
I was a registered nurse. I had did nursing most of my life. I said about 20, 25 years, up until about 2010. Y'all helped me. At that time, I had severe osteoarthritis. I was actually in one of those mobile chairs.
Wow.
Yeah, you can't believe it to see me
No,
today.
I wouldn't believe it
Yeah,
if you didn't tell me.
yeah. And so that's why I kind of retired. It was just real hard to deal with that at that time. And after the retirement, my older sister, who's very healthy, helped me to get back on my feet. And so I spent time just relaxing and, learning my kids again. Because in
Hmm.
nursing, you usually work during a lot of hours. And so now I had that time to think. And I think we need that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
To find yourself.
yeah. So, yeah.
You can't do that when you're caught up with everything else and all this responsibility, and you don't have time to think about yourself. You're thinking about everything else
Yeah.
but yourself.
How you paying the bills? What am I have for dinner? Okay, what time I got to do this and that? And it's all about, putting out fires.
Hmm.
Boom, boom, boom. You have a life of just putting out fires. You don't have time to think. You know.
So, what are your plans now that you're in Zambia? What's your dream for your life here in Zambia?
My dream for my life here in Zambia is to seek the kingdom of Yah, uh, so that, as He has said, all else will follow. And I see the kingdom building here. These are um, very religious people here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, churches everywhere. Churches, not mosques.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the difference also. That is a difference.
Mm-hmm.
But so it's the people treat you and talk to you. It's as though they fear God. So here I plan to just soak in all this and give back this and communicate as a group. We're learning to be a group here. We
Mm-hmm.
really are. And we do have a leader, someone directing us into how that we can help bring Yah's kingdom into being.
Yes.
That's
Yes,
my dream.
absolutely. Okay, is there anything you want, last words that you want to tell the people out there?
Don't give up. Don't give up. It's hard. Yah said it's going to be hard. It's been hard. And this is the time of Jacob's trouble. But Yah is with us. And that's what I have to remember. Every time I go through one of those hard times, like hurting my foot, can't travel, and all those leaving luggage, you have a lot of problems moving. Keep going, keep going. Yah is with you. He sees you. Yes, He does.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Mama Judith. It was a pleasure sitting with you today. And I pray blessings upon you in Zambia and that
Yes.
everything comes to fruition as you pray and you
Yes, will
want.
be done.
Yes, will be done. Thank you.